Hello. It is with my highest regard that I thank you for joining us today and welcome you to Western New England University's second biannual TEDx event. I'm your host, Carly Schneider, and I am one of the founding members of TEDxWNEU. Before we begin, please be aware of the emergency exits located on either side of the stage. In case of emergency, please congregate by the main entrance of Sleeth Hall. Thank you for your cooperation. Now, what is TED and TEDx? TED is a global non-for-profit organization devoted to ideas worth spreading. It started off in 1984 as a global conference bringing together the world's leading thinkers in technology, entertainment, and design. To explain more about what TEDx is, I invite you to watch the official TEDx introductory video narrated by TED's CEO, Chris Anderson.
Welcome to something special. Welcome to TEDx. This TEDx event is part of a global conversation that takes place every day in every corner of the world. In schools, in theaters, in workplaces, even in prisons, people gather to hear the best ideas bubbling up in their communities. More than 3,000 TEDx events are held every year in 170 countries. It's a remarkable thing. TEDx events are self-organized under a license from TED, a non-profit organization devoted to discovering and sharing powerful ideas in the form of TED Talks. It's not TED itself, but your local TEDx team of volunteers that has done all the work to put on today's event, including booking all of the speakers. It's this team's ideas, dedication, and time that have made this possible. We really hope today's program sparks an exciting conversation. This is a day for curiosity and for skepticism, for inspiration and for action. The more you enter into it, the more you will take out. And now, on with the show.
Great. Now that we've heard what TEDx is, what does TEDx mean to the Western New England community? The vision of TEDx Western New England University, in the words of our founder, Mr. Caleb Malema, TEDxWNEU is a local forum for ideas within our community that inspires people to change their lives, their futures, and ultimately, the world. The world is in disarray across several arenas, and it becomes easy to mistake the ails around us as proof of how low our society has sunk rather than how high our standards have become. Now is the time to look at where we have been so we can trace through and understand what ideas got us here, what ideas are indispensable, and which ideas we can continue to apply for the betterment of humanity. Our theme for today's event is a new perspective, defined as looking for a way to challenge your existing beliefs while also opening yourself up to new ideas. A special thanks to our sponsors, Western New England University, Golden Bear Television, Link to VR, Campus Activities Board, Student Involvement and Connections, and Improv on the Rocks. Without further ado, it is time to introduce a guitar trio led by Western New England's own classical guitarist, John Mason. He's accompanied by his students, Will Murphy and Jake Liuzzo. Enjoy this musical journey through time and genre, beginning with a heavily structured classical piece composed by Johann Sebastian Bach, slowly evolving into jazz, and then ending with rock and roll. I implore you to let the music guide your mind to finding a new perspective. Now I invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Thank you so much for having us. Thanks to Carly for inviting us to participate. And I'd like to thank two of my finest students at Westfield State University, Will Will Murphy and Jake Liuzzo for joining me today. Thank you. So when I found out it was a new perspectives, I'm thinking about doing music that was a new perspective at the time that it was introduced to the world. And beginning with Johann Sebastian Bach, who could be the most important Western European classical composer, or in his time, a Baroque period composer. What was groundbreaking about him was, at the time, they were evolving the equal temperament of the keyboards. In other words, structuring the distance between half steps of the Western musical scale to allow to perform in any key. And he was a genius composer, groundbreaking composer, and really evolved the language of music to modulate from key to key, and just his sheer output was incredible. Fast forward a couple hundred years, and we have the evolution of jazz, primarily down in New Orleans to begin with, where people from all cultures are living side by side in Port City of New Orleans. Slavery was still a thing, and then after the Civil War, when slavery ended, black musicians were allowed to play more freely, started earning a living playing music, primarily in the sections of New Orleans known for prostitution, gambling, drinking, etc. You had jazz musicians from various places around the world coming together to offer their little piece of their musical background, blues players, ragtime players, and even Creole musicians playing classical music who were now forced to one side of the segregated line. So we're going to play a couple of jazz pieces by the great Django Reinhardt. Jazz had a big influence in Europe as well as in this country. And Django Reinhardt's take on early jazz is well noted. Gypsy jazz, if you've heard that term, is still a very popular genre of jazz. So we're going to do a couple pieces by him. And then fast forward a decade or so, and we get into what's called bebop, primarily established by the great saxophonist Charlie Parker, his partner on the trumpet, Dizzy Gillespie, where you had a lot of the musical influence by the classical composers, people like Bach starting to influence jazz, where players were improvising over more and more varieties of key changes, key modulations, so it really raised the skill level and musical knowledge and requirements to play this ever-evolving American art form. Fast forward a couple more decades, we have jazz fracturing into a variety of genres, including rhythm and blues, jump music, cool jazz, hot jazz, and eventually fusion and rock and roll. As far as guitar is concerned, one of the most important rock and roll guitarists, probably the most important rock and roll guitarist to come along and influence a generation of players was Jimi Hendrix. So we're going to end with a piece by Jimi Hendrix that we're not going to light our guitars on fire, but we'll come close. So thank you so much for having us, and I hope you enjoy the music here. Limehouse Blues. This next piece is called A Minor Swing. Ready? 2, 3.
Yeah.
This next piece is called Donna Lee by the great Charlie Parker, although there is some rumors that Miles Davis may have actually composed this melody. But Charlie Parker has the credit for it. So just give us the last C.
This line?
And then, well, when you hit that. Where
Yeah, okay, got it. All right, what's the tempo?
This next piece is called Cherokee, and this was a piece that Charlie Parker supposedly had a revelation on. He was at a jam session in New York City, and he's playing over these chord changes, and in the bridge, the B section of the song, you can hear the chord changes modulate through 4 or 5 different keys. And he had a revelation of being able to just play almost any note he wanted over these, as long as he resolved the line back into the chord progression or into the chord, that it would work. So he really started to expand his vocabulary and all the vocabulary of everybody who was hearing him. He was one of the biggest influences on the whole jazz scene in the 1940s and early 1950s. Sadly, he died young. He had a bit of an issue with drugs and alcohol, and it cost him his life early, but still well worth exploring if you don't know Charlie Parker. So he didn't compose this one, but it has chord changes that he really felt opened up his possibilities.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Get the melody up front?
Yeah.
Right on it?
Sure. Yep. Which one? Purple haze. Gotcha.
Wow, what a tremendous experience from our guitar trio. Thank you so much, John, Jake, and Will. Let's give it up one more time for our guitar trio. It makes me want to grab my guitar and smash it on the ground now. With that, we will take a quick break, about 10 minutes or so. Feel free to grab some food outside, use the bathroom, come up on stage if you would like to take a look at some of the antiques we have. All I ask is that you do not touch them, but we'll see you back here around 1:45.
Welcome to something. Welcome to something.
Please find your seats. Thank you so much. Hopefully everyone is nice and well fed, well rested, ready to begin our next events. Our first speaker of the day is an alum of Western New England University, graduating with a bachelor's degree in 2016. As a senior software engineer, Robin works closely with up-and-coming technology geared towards assisting doctors with incredibly complex medical procedures. Her life's work is dedicated to ensuring that our doctors are supported and well-equipped to tackle the most noble of challenges, saving lives. Living with cerebral palsy, Robin Stanko sees herself as an advocate for the disabled community. She proves to the world every day that there is no mountain high enough to keep her away from her fullest potential. Robin was also an improviser with Western New England's own improv comedy troupe. Please listen closely to our first TEDx talk of the day, Brace for Impact with Robin Stanko.
All right, so many years ago in the 6th grade, this is about, I don't know, I was very young at the time. My friends and I, all of our classmates, we had a field trip, and any kid's joy to get out of the classroom essentially and have a field day. So this local park that we went to was Putnam Park. I'm not sure if any of you are familiar. It's in Reading, Connecticut. We did a lot of outdoor activities like walking, hiking. We played some games. It was a lot of really fun stuff, and I was really excited to be away from my desk as a young child. As a young girl with cerebral palsy, I always had some mild difficulty in keeping up with others when it came to physical activity, but I always enjoyed it nonetheless. I was keeping up fairly well with most of these activities. However, there came a point when we were doing a hike, and this hike was at the top of the hill, and at the top of the hill there was a river. Picture just, a fairly barren forest, wet from last night, the rain, and, it was fall, so there wasn't a lot of green foliage. But at the top of this hill, there was a river. Picture, a normal flowing river. And in the river, there were several precariously placed rocks, kind of just putting out a path, easily navigable for anyone that had standard balance and mobility. Which I did not, clearly. I watched all of my classmates with ease traverse each of these stepping stones. No one had any blunders or problems. And I figured that I would go last. Why not savor the moment and appreciate everyone walking across, learn from them, see how I could gauge these rocks. And it was my turn to go. Everyone had crossed. And I made it to about the 3rd rock, and I slipped and fell completely on my back into the flowing river, and I was soaked. And as I stare up in the sky, contemplating all of my decisions up till now, every single life decision, my thermos and my lunch was making its way towards no return down the river. Thankfully, my friend Candace, she ran and grabbed it. And this is all happening while I'm just laying in the river. And I look up, and all of my classmates are jaw-dropped, either laughing, stunned, or maybe they even feel a little bit bad for me. But I was quickly helped by the hiking instructor and back on my feet. My clothes were soaked, my young ego was bruised, and my reputation as a 6th grader was permanently scarred. And although I was not physically hurt, and I managed throughout the day, I learned to face the adversities that come along with living with a physical disability, and that necessarily I don't have all of the mobility and balance that a person with normal mobility has. As an adult, these mobility issues have taken somewhat of a toll on me. Although cerebral palsy itself is not degenerative, there are coexisting conditions such as scoliosis and ankylosing spondylitis, which are degenerative. Whether it be an arthritis flare-up in the fall or a propensity to a new injury. Cerebral palsy patients often, they actually have a larger propensity for injuries, or just the general wear and tear of the joints. I really struggle with maintaining pain-free days. Often those with disabilities resort to care such as physical therapy, medication, and even surgery. Surgery is oftentimes like the end-all be-all. Medication and physical therapy can be a remediation, but surgery often is kind of the thing that can solve the issue. For me, as I knew physical therapy and exercise might not always be enough, I've always relished and thought of the possibility of surgery, which can be extremely daunting. And I've always just relished for a way to make my life with disabilities just a little bit easier. With a strong focus in software engineering, I've been observing the everyday rapid changes in technology. And I've always hoped that there would be a better way to improve patient outcomes for those with disabilities. And considering the technological advances that have been made today, I believe that we can utilize innovative virtual reality technology to improve the lives of those with disabilities. Now, this is a big claim, but let me get into it. For the past 8 months, I've had the pleasure of working with an innovative company that has developed the leading virtual reality surgical training and assessment platform named OSO VR. Accessible on the Quest 2 by Meta, OSO VR provides a revolutionary, clinically validated virtual operating room where surgeons, medical trainees, and healthcare professionals can perform repeatable, commonly used, and even rare surgeries on not a cadaver or a live human, but rather a virtual patient. OSO VR provides numerous procedures to choose from, all equipped with step-by-step interactions through the procedure and even analytics on how you're doing with any given procedure. This feature is extremely valuable to surgeons because traditional surgery, they usually have to wait quite a while for cadavers or for a person to undergo the surgery, and this can take quite a lot of time. With VR, things are repeatable as any amount of times that you want. And you can do it in the comfort of your own home. As part of my contributions at OSO, I work as a full-stack engineer, developing the web applications that are actually embedded in the VR experience. And so that provides a lot of analytics on the different procedures that surgeons and medical students run. Cerebral palsy patients, like me, and those who have an even more severe case of the condition, they often go through surgical procedures effectively titled total knee arthroplasties or total shoulder arthroplasties. Now, arthroplasty is a big word, so give me a second. It just means a simple joint reconstruction or a repair of the joint. So when you hear me say arthroplasty, simply think of that. These procedures are generally needed due to the wear and tear on the joints that come from arthritis and scoliosis, and as well as for lack of mobility and muscular imbalance. A lot of the times, joints will need to be repaired for that. Furthermore, there is actually major overlap with the conditions I previously mentioned with ankylosing spondylitis. Ankylosing spondylitis is an inflammatory disease that affects the spine, and scoliosis, more known, is just like a misshapen spine. Scoliosis patients will actually have to go, and ankylosing spondylitis patients have to often go through bilateral hip arthroplasty. Bilateral meaning both sides, and that's a really extreme procedure. Similarly, scoliosis patients sometimes will need to go through a rotator cuff repair if they've torn their rotator cuff. So the likelihood of me having to undergo one of these procedures is actually extremely high. My chiropractor essentially has told me that my L5 vertebrae is attached to my hip due to my ankylosing spondylitis, so my hips don't really move. So I'm hoping to correct that. It's pretty nerve-wracking for me to have the idea of having to go through surgery. I've never done that. I've never gone through any formal surgery before. Although I had to wear a brace when I was a child, I've never gone through any surgeries. So how does this connect? OSO VR and virtual reality technology actually provides a few of these surgeries that I've just mentioned as virtual modules that surgeons and trainees can participate in, again, a repeatable amount of times. Total knee replacement and rotator cuff modules are actually both readily available and are being used today. In addition, Justin Barad, the CEO of OSO-VR, whom has worked with cerebral palsy patients closely, he really is trying to bring in more procedures that are focused for people with disabilities, namely Botox injections. Funny enough, Botox injections don't just have a cosmetic appeal. They can provide relaxing of the muscle, so there's less spasticity. If you guys are familiar with TMJ or TMD, if you guys have any jaw problems, a lot of that is due to the spasticity of the masseter muscle. So Botox injections can actually really help cerebral palsy patients that have that spasticity. Virtual reality technology has come an extremely long way, and it's actually even clinically validated. Multiple peer-reviewed trials have occurred further supporting the positive impact of OSO-VR's modules for their participants. For one, the Journal of Surgical Education has conducted a few different studies on OSO-VR's modules, including the partial knee arthroplasty that I've just mentioned. And all of the research conducted led to positive feedback. Furthermore, a study done by UCLA's David Geffen School of Medicine had a measurable 230% increase in surgical performance based on traditional training. So that's huge. 230% compared to traditional training is an extreme leap. And it's measurable. This isn't just surgeon simulator or some gimmick. This is really a validated technology. And more research is continually coming out to support this fact. However, sometimes the adoption can be a little bit slow. I'd like to hope that this discussion that I'm having would have for more quick adoption from all of you, and that it's something that brings interest. Since it is evident that virtual reality can provide surgeons with the ability to repeatedly and statistically improve their craft, I propose it is intrinsically helping patients with physical disabilities who often need certain surgeries. Provided that the surgery is available through a virtual module, the surgeon can ensure that he or she has done the module an utmost amount of times and is extremely ready to perform the surgery. In addition, I believe it gives patients a heightened sense of security and faith in their surgical providers. Not only have their surgical providers gone through the standard doctoral credentials and education, but now they're using this cutting-edge training that allows them to even further improve their craft. With the combination of both of these styles of training, I suggest that we can provide better patient outcomes for those with personal disabilities, or for those with physical disabilities. Personally, I feel it makes me more inclined to get a surgery myself if I do need one, knowing that our surgeons had gone through both of these types of training. It would ease my mind to know that. It also kind of gets me thinking back to the young girl that fell in the river when she was in 6th grade, and that maybe she'd take some solace in knowing that there would be some new technology that could possibly help her and, not prevent her from falling, but maybe help a hip that she broke if she fell. I'd also like to think that she'd take some pride in knowing that she actually participated in the advancement of this great virtual reality technology. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Robin. That was fantastic. Let's give it up one more time for Robin Stanko. Now I invite you to laugh along with our funniest troupe of improvisers WNEU has ever seen. Accompanied by Robin, Improv on the Rocks will take you inside the operating room. What could go wrong? I will now pass the mic over to Connor Bryant, president of Improv on the Rocks.
Thank you so much, Carly. Always appreciate you. Hello, everybody. How are we doing today? Woo! That's what I love to hear. I'm not up here to give a TED Talk, unfortunately, But instead, like Carly said, we're going to do a little improvising skit up here for you all. I don't know how many of you know this, but Robin over here is actually an alumni of our troupe. She was performing. Yeah, woo! Yes, yes, yes. She was actually performing with us yesterday in our alumni show. She did fantastic, and I feel so honored to be up here doing improv with her once again. So, yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. And now, of course, before we get started, I have to do a quick little disclaimer that Western New England's Improv on the Rocks is not affiliated with TED, TEDx, also VR, or Link to VR. But with that out of the way, let's see what could possibly go wrong in this operating room.
All right, now, just get situated here. Thanks, Doc. Okay.
Get the patient already there. Make sure to strap them down this time so they don't get up mid-surgery again.
Yes, yes. Noted, sir.
Yes, yes, yes. Fantastic. Anesthesia as well.
She's asleep.
Looks like she's out. Alrighty. So, what was that surgery we were supposed to be doing again today?
The knee one.
The knee one!
That is.
Got you. Alright, let's start scrubbing in as per usual.
Yes, of
Yeah.
course.
Yes, yes,
We must
yes.
keep our hands clean.
Of course.
You know, Dr. Jenkins.
Dr. Vanessa. Yes.
Yes, Dr. Jenkins. I've been very, very excited to finally shadow you on this wonderful knee surgery. I've known you since I was a kid. You know, me and your, you and my dad are besties.
Of
to the
course.
meeting.
I'd like you to meet my daughter.
You seem like you have promise. Have you ever done anything with knees before?
I moved mine.
Oh,
She's real natural.
she's already halfway there. Tell you what. You ever consider becoming a doctor?
Sure.
Oh. How about you get this one into med school, why don't you?
Back to base.
And now look at you now, operating with the famous neologist, Dr. Jenkins.
It makes me feel great that you're a neologist, but we weren't sure what part of the body we were operating on.
Yeah.
You had to double check with me.
Of
for
course,
that.
that's standard protocol, don't you know?
Okay, yes.
Yes,
Taking
yes.
notes, standard.
Protocol. Yep.
It's also standard protocol to wear gloves.
Oh, see, it wasn't always like that, you know, because back when I was in med school, it was a whole different ballgame.
You didn't wear gloves?
All right. Lesson 101. You kind of just look and do what you want, all right?
Okay,
So,
all right.
whatever you're wearing, that's okay.
Oh, so open-toed shoes, no
Open-toed
gloves.
shoes, no gloves. Let your hair down.
Okay,
really
all right.
get in there.
Maybe
and
is
just...
the hair supposed to go in the patient?
I got a pizza.
Oh, yeah. Right here.
Yeah, right there. Right on top.
Oh, sorry, I dropped some
Oh,
sauce.
Let's get some of that off.
Okay. Blends in with the blood.
Ow! There we go.
Color coordination.
Ah.
I really just operate on whatever you think could use some work.
Okay.
So,
Oh, it's subjective.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yes. We like to surprise them when they wake up.
Ah.
All right. So these gloves, they're kind of tight on my wrist, and it's giving me a rash.
Take them off. Why are you wearing them in the first place?
Doctor, aren't we supposed to wash our hands before surgery?
No. There's already something wrong with them, so we can only improve here. So
You know what? You make a very valid point.
it's only up from here.
True.
Maybe
Only
what
makes
they
sense.
need is dirt in their bloodstream.
Yeah.
Good thing I brought my jar of dirt.
The jar of dirt!
Let me get in
Lesson
there, buddy.
2!
Yep. Yeah, you get in there too, Doc. There you go.
I feels so unclean.
This is good dirt. This is good dirt. Some
You
people
want some
use
too?
Parmesan.
Oh, no, we gotta open her mouth if she wants some, see?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
there we go.
There we go.
Perfect,
Getting
perfect.
healthier by the minute.
I'm not wasting my dirt.
Back to base.
Yeah, you know, they don't let me bring the jar of dirt in anymore.
Wow, that's surprising. I mean, I feel like dirt has so many incredible qualities that could probably help humans out.
Of
don't you
course,
think?
you know, it's like part of the earth or something like that. Alrighty. So first things first, we have to locate the knee.
The knee.
Yeah, and you know, I'm the one who's supposed to be teaching you everything. I have to, you know, make sure you're learning. So how about you tell me where the knee is?
The knee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
The knee.
The
The
knee. Wait, hold on a second. According to this medical textbook over there, it said it's supposed to be a little bit lower on
Yes,
them.
every operating room has the corner with the medical textbook for reference.
Of course. Wait a second.
That looks like the picture.
Okay, so we were wrong. Okay.
All right,
so
that's
good
okay.
thing we checked the medical textbook.
Naturally.
Thank you, Dr. Stevenson, the man who wrote the medical textbook.
Classic Dr. Stevenson.
You're welcome.
Making his rounds.
Stevenson.
Thank you, Dr. Stevenson.
All right.
Okay, well, good thing we didn't cut into this knee.
Yeah.
Now we cut into
to
this.
that knee.
Okay.
Okay, all right. So first things first, we got to prep the area, of course, naturally. I'm noticing a distinct lack of dirt in this operating room.
Oh, you said they don't let you bring it in anymore.
You know what? Preparation's meparation. Let's just go for it, you know? Something like that.
It's important to make sure. Are you ready?
Maybe say it a little bit louder.
Are you ready? Yes!
Sounds perfect to me.
Whoa, we never did that in med school.
Ow. Alrighty. So scalpel?
Can you tell me which one that is?
Oh, of course.
Oh, no, it's yeah.
Yes. So, just keep drilling till you feel like stopping.
Really? Right. The use of a scalpel. The verb when you use a scalpel is drill.
Yes. See,
Okay.
that's why I'm the one teaching you.
Yeah, I'm making mental notes here. Standard procedure.
Use your drilling. You know when you're done when you hit the table.
I hit the table.
Perfect. All right, you're gonna go ahead and take that on out. Ooh, got the extra long drill.
Oh, I know what's next. Magnifying glass.
Yep. Do a thorough examination.
It went to the table. I can see to the table.
Cut to the cleaning room, or the cleaning crew the night before. Why are there so many holes in this table?
What are they doing at this hospital?
At this rate, we're gonna need a new table.
Jeez.
Oh, they went through to the floor one time. What kind of drills they using?
These people, they just chew so much gum. It's just everywhere on there.
Were they playing I Spy in here? What's with the magnifying glass?
I don't know. At least they wash their hands. All right,
Yeah.
well, let's just scrubbing. I'll get you guys your sponges.
Thank you. Okay, God bless.
I'm doing the sink.
I hope they know what's in this textbook.
Hey, I mean, they're the ones who went to medical school, not us.
Yeah,
so they
not
know
us.
better. I mean,
No.
maybe this is how it goes.
All right, well, this seems, my area's pretty good. How about you guys?
I mean, the table was read before, and it's probably supposed to be read.
Color coordination.
Color coordination, love it.
All right. Well, that's looking pretty good. I'll just start picking the gum off. Let me put some gloves on. You know, I tell you, these people, they have no manners.
Yeah.
Cut to the people with no manners.
Yeah, that looks big enough.
Oh, yeah. That was cool.
That was a good one, huh? Whoa, Jeremy, you think you can beat that one?
Let's see.
Oh.
That was good form. Try this one on for size. Ooh. Focus. Oh.
Yep.
Hey! That's gonna be on there for months.
Is that your tooth in there?
Oh my god!
Oh, I guess it is. Might need to see a medical professional about that one. No, I can actually get money for that. Hold on.
Oh, yeah, go for that.
Gotta be ready for the ferry, you know?
Cut to selling the tooth to the tooth fairy.
I mean, it's around midnight. She should be here any moment. Oh my goodness, you are real. I knew it. I have this wonderful tooth for you. I think it's something like maybe molar number 3. I don't know, top right corner. I don't know all those terms. I went to medical school, but you know, clearly didn't work out. So how much are you thinking? Maybe 5, 10,000?
Thousands? Whew, whew, whew. I like the numbers, but the unit's wrong. I'm thinking million. Million. I've only seen 4 of these in my day.
Yeah, molar 3s are fairly rare. I mean, if you're down with 10 million, I'm down with 10 million.
Yes.
Do you know how much gum that could buy?
Well, you look like you could use some. Smells like it too.
Thank you so much. Oh, I'm rich. I gotta go tell my friends. Back to base.
Okay. Scalpel down. What next? What exactly was wrong with the knee anyway?
Yeah, well, I'm seeing a hole in it now. Oh, wait, we did that.
No, we dug it.
Ah.
Let's read the chart here.
Yep.
Probably should have done this before we took out
It's no worries. Oh, the right knee had the problem. That was the left one.
Wait.
Yep.
Right knee. We're good.
Oh, we're completely fine. We're A-okay. Right knee.
Okay. So
All right.
we can keep going. The chart there said the knee is feeling wobbly.
Feeling wobbly. Oh, perfect. We have to stabilize it.
All right.
Stability. So over here I have these industrial pliers. I feel like these could maybe help out.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you thinking, Doc?
Maybe we shove it right there. Clamp. Right, just like that. It's looking pretty stable to me now.
Is this the part where we wake her up?
You know, yeah, let's wake her up. Let's ask her opinion on this.
Okay. Hello, Stacy.
Hello.
Hey, girl, what's
Are
up?
you my doctors?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Where am I?
Operating room. We're not quite done with the operation just yet, but we
Okay.
need you to check in with us real quick. Can you go ahead and just take a look at your knee, see how that's looking?
Both knees? Or just my right knee?
Just the right one.
My right one?
Yeah, the
The
right
right
one.
Not the wrong one?
Not the
Not the
wrong
wrong
one.
And what am I looking for?
Is you cool with these pliers just being in there?
I don't.
You see
I mean,
it?
I can move,
It's fine. Okay.
but I don't think I can bend.
I'll put it back under.
I'm trusting you, Doc.
Bye, Stacy.
Bending,
Aw,
bending,
what are we
bending.
gonna
I
do
forgot
about-
knees were supposed to
I-
bend.
Oh,
The textbook. We checked the
the
textbook.
textbook. Oh, yes.
Mhm.
Oh.
Cut to Dr. Stevenson writing about knee bending.
Yes.
So as you see, the knee, as a function, bends.
but it does not bend forwards. It bends backwards. What a neat thing to do. I mean, really, think about it. What sort of god would create such an abomination? I certainly wouldn't. But hey, I haven't created anything in my life. That's why I'm making this book, to teach people how to fix other people. Hopefully you're doing that. If not, I guess I failed.
Back to base.
A lovely note from Dr. Stevenson.
Incredible. Oh, and here's a little poem.
Ooh.
If the knee bends forward.
Forward.
No.
No.
Okay, so we
Yeah.
have to make sure the knee bends. But the knee bends.
The knees should not go that way. Knees should go this way.
Yeah.
Yep, okay, all right. So I got a who'sama whatchamacallit over here.
Oh yes. I just finished med school, so I know the technical name.
Of course,
It's
of course.
It's the pole.
The pole! Yes, of course, the pole. Dr. Vanessa, would you please remove the pliers so I may insert the pole? Slide you right in there. Okay, all right. Now, Dr. Vanessa, would you please do the bending simulation? Make sure it can bend.
Okay.
Looking pretty good to me, yeah?
The pole bent. Does that mean the knee will bend?
I mean, it should, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Well, tell you what. Just to check, just to make sure, you do my knee.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Let's get another hujama wetchin.
You know, back in med school, they used me for practice all the time. I'm used to this.
All right.
Come to med school, or are they using Dr. Jenkins as a practice?
All right, lesson 7. When you run out of patience, you gotta use yourself.
Yeah?
Get on the floor, right now!
All right, okay, good day.
I'm so glad you volunteered as tribute.
Yeah, Ted volunteered for this.
So happy for you, Jake. Professor, I remember we're on unit 7. That's open heart surgery, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well, let's get to it.
We actually ran out of anesthesia this morning, right?
I mean, he's out, so.
Oh, that was order of operations, guys. Order of operations.
You can switch it up, I think.
Anesthesia first.
Well, next
No,
time.
I just sang Hush-a-bye, baby. We're good.
Same thing.
I'll keep it in my notes.
That's like herbal remedies, same kind of idea. Like just lullabies, no anesthesia.
All
The
of our
natural
scalpels
way.
are actually in the wash. I have this kitchen knife, though.
Yeah.
Sterile. Do it.
Okay, gently. Counterclockwise, baby. All right. You know what?
Oh.
I got the heart out.
Wait, out?
Yeah, out.
Wait. I think I sang too beautifully. He's gone.
He's passed on to a better place.
The nice showing there. It's
We
fine.
need the thingies that do the thing.
I should know this.
Someone get them.
I'll get him.
Okay, thank you. I'll prepare the area for the electrical shock.
I feel confident. All right.
Guys, this happens all the time. That's why it's lesson 7. And see if you were paying attention.
I'm thinking legs.
Okay.
It's worth a shot.
Yes.
Wait, try the knees.
Yeah, the knees.
Oh!
The knees.
And those are, so I'm
That's
going,
lesson 8. Always the knees.
so the knees back up.
Actually, we're using the lower knees.
Lower
It's
knees.
not-
Oh, my bad.
Lower
All
knees.
right. I should have gone with my heart. All right.
Yeah. No, go with the knees. Think with your knees.
Go with your heart. All right.
Ready? Oh, lesson 9. Always the knees. It was also lesson 8.
Did I get 100?
It's a long
Yeah, you did really well.
Oh, man.
I think I got more used to this.
Now, he doesn't have to know about the knife, right?
No.
Why do I feel like there's something sharp in me?
You're going to be so successful.
Well, buddy, that's just because you're looking sharp, right?
Back to base.
God, you know, I I'm still feeling so sharp.
Look at those scars on your knees from your wonderful, offering of your body to the medical students.
I always donate my body to science.
Incredible. Well, here is another sharp thing that is going into your knee.
Go right on ahead. I'm a sharp guy.
And then,
You forgot the bedtime part of this. You know, you're supposed to sing me a song.
rock-a-bye, baby. Whoa, we fall asleep standing. Okay, so I bent it up because the knee bends up.
No, no, no.
Oh no. I'm pretty sure one of the pages in the textbook said no, no, no. Dr. Jenkins, so the pole is in your leg. It's in your knee.
Did it bend?
Oh, so it didn't bend. It bends. It bent.
Uh-oh. You have to do a very quick knee reversal surgery.
Oh, what does that mean?
Scalpel.
Oh.
In the side. Yep, there you go. Now a second pole.
Oh no, another pole. Will you hold it?
Yep, I got you. Taking my time. All right, yep. Okay.
Okay. Okay, so now we gotta. Right where? Hey, girl.
Hold on a second. Bends perfectly. So now, let's do it here.
I'm on top of the world.
You really are. You are a fantastic surgeon, Dr. Vanessa.
I wish Dr. Stevenson could see me right now.
Cut to Dr. Stevenson magically appearing out of the book.
Surprise!
Dr. Stevenson!
I've only heard of you in legends.
You've given so much to the medical world, like this book, and that's it, just the book.
But it's so much. It's helped us with this knee surgery.
My greatest accomplishment.
Yes.
I see you using the pole method.
Yeah, the
Of
pole
course.
method.
Of course.
Now you remember my poem. No, no, no.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh
To
my
hear
God.
it in person.
It's fantastic, so fantastic. But, doctor,
Yes,
we have to insert the second pole.
I see the issue, doctor.
Yes, we have to complete this surgery. I'm starting to hear the beeping. I think we're starting to lose her.
Oh no!
Stacy, hold on with us.
Here's the second pole.
Second
There's
pole.
the pole!
Right, together. Death.
For vitals, the stabilizer. That was the best surgery I've seen in years, doctors.
Thank you so much, doctor.
Thank you. It's an honor.
I think we should unstrap the patient. I think they're ready. I think they're ready for this surgery to be over.
You're right.
Yes.
All right. I'll go back to my office. I'll see you later.
Goodbye, Dr. Stevenson.
Goodbye, doctors!
Wow, what a cool dude.
Such an icon.
All right, I'm gonna wake her up. You ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Hey, girl.
Mom? I heard my mom's voice. Dr. Stevens is my mom.
I didn't know we were operating on surgical royalty.
Oh my goodness.
Whoa.
My knee. You did amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Will you ask your mom to write me a letter of recommendation?
Mom! Mom!
Yes, my child.
Will you write my doctor's letter of recommendation to wherever they want to go?
Oh, of course.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So thank you for my knees. You'll show us a little
A little knee
Yeah.
action?
yeah, a little knee action.
Sure.
Can you help me up?
Yes,
Of course.
Wow!
My knees!
My dreams are coming true thanks to you all. Thank you for everything.
Thank you, Stacy.
Thank you, Stacy.
Thank you.
I love you, girl.
I'm a little unstable.
Okay, I'll help you.
Thank you. Oh.
Hey!
We did good.
You did good.
See?
Thank you, everybody.
Give it up for Improv on the Rocks. Thank you, that was amazing.
Let's hear it for our the person we're operating on.
Thank you. You guys were too funny. I could hardly keep myself together during that, but that was truly a fantastical event. Thank you. I did my best.
Yeah.
It's the anesthesia.
Now you know. You just read him a bedtime story. No need for anesthesia.
With that, this concludes our. Sorry, this does not conclude our second event of the day. But we are leading into a second intermission, a brief 10 minutes to go get some more food, give our improv team a quick little break, and please be ready to listen to our second TEDx talk of the day, given by Edward Zemba. See you soon. Please find your seats. We'll begin again shortly. Welcome back to TEDx. Oh, thank you very much. All right, we are about to enter into the last third of our event here today. Please come take your seats, get comfortable. We're in for an exciting next TEDx talk. Okay, next to the stage, it is my honor to welcome a lifelong enthusiast of the art of visual media. Upon graduating Western New England University in 2008 with a bachelor's degree in business management, Edward Zemba found his way into photography, helping with his father's photo processing business and working his way up to the vice president of business development. As an early visionary, he saw the emergence of digital technologies overtaking the analog and felt the massive industry shift on the horizon. That choice to focus on the emerging tech would be his one-way ticket into the world of digital disruptive technologies like augmented, virtual, and extended realities. As co-founder and CEO of Link to VR, an extended reality agency, he has built the company from the ground up. He now helps many other organizations, from startups to Fortune 500 companies, develop their XR strategies and leverage the transformative power of spatial computing. He believes that innovative technology is meant for everyone and spends much of his time educating those on the new medium. To find out how disruptive technologies can make us more human, please join me in welcoming to the stage Edward Zemba.
So I could feel the excitement building inside of me. Or was that fear? It's funny how in the world that we live in, when we're faced with tremendous opportunity, how those two feelings can kind of coincide. So I was with some friends. We were at the beach, and we were enjoying some surf. We were doing some surfing. And it's one of those things where if you've ever been to the beach where you create a group of friends you've never actually met before, but you're just out there together, and all of a sudden you kind of have this human connection. And we're just hanging out, having a good time, and all of a sudden we look out and we see the monster of all waves. I mean, this thing is building, and it is getting taller to the point where it takes out the horizon line. And we're all standing there looking at this thing, and you can feel the sand start disappearing from underneath your feet, and you can feel it pulling you towards that wave. And instantly we knew that something special was about to happen. That this was beyond your normal wave. This was something so much bigger and so much more intense. And when we looked at it, we realized we effectively had three choices in that moment, without even saying a word to each other. One, we could duck. So as that wave comes at you, you have the choice. If you duck deep enough and you get down far enough, well, maybe that thing will just roll right over you. You safely come up the other side and you watch it roar to shore. Got past that one. Good. Or, option number two, you can look at the wave, with the shore, with the wave, with the shore, and make a determination, can I make it to shore? And maybe you just start booking for shore, and you hope you can outrun the wave. But there is a third choice. You time the wave, you kind of get a feel for it, you find that inner courage, and then you grab that wave with everything you've got and you ride it into shore. Now, in that moment, we didn't know each other, but we all looked at each other without a single word. A human bond was instantly made because we knew exactly what we needed to do. In the world of life, in the technology space, does it not feel like we are constantly being hit by these waves? One after another after another. And they seem to be getting bigger. They seem to be getting more intense, more impressive with each wave that comes. Yet, we have to, as a society, decide how are we going to respond to these waves. And when we see these waves, we feel that sense of excitement, that sense of fear, and that sense of opportunity. VR, AR, MR, XR, AI, AGI, Web 3.0, and don't forget the metaverse. I mean, for those of us in technology, that's a lot. And for those outside of technology, that's a real lot. But if it helps take a little bit of the edge off, remember, this isn't the first time we've seen this. Mainframe to desktop to mobile, DOS to GUI, internet, we've seen it before. I remember seeing the first PC that showed up in our school. Honestly, nobody really knew what to do with it. It just sort of showed up. And then we all started playing around with it. And then a math teacher came along and said, this is cool. And then usually a couple kids, maybe not starting for the football team, fell in love with this thing. And this little lab started. And then 2 PCs, then 3 PCs, and so on and so forth. But when this has happened in the past, it's changed the way we work, it's changed the way we live, it's changed the way we communicate, and it's changed the way we human. It's changed the way we connect with each other. But it can change in a very positive way depending on how we choose to respond. But thank gosh, right? I mean, thank gosh, it's finally slowing down, right? We're all able to, take a break. I mean, the last 10 years have been a lot, but this next 10, it looks like we're going to finally get a chance to just chill, right? Just kick back, take a break. Because look, Ginny here, she can help us, right? She's going to give us some hope. So, in the next 5 years to 10 years, maybe, we're going to turn more corners and transform more industries than we have in the past century. Well, that's not very helpful. Okay, all right. Well, what does Ginny know? I mean, she ran that little company, IBM. Okay, so I guess Ginny might know a few things. So yes, it is going to accelerate. It is going to continue to build. And yes, it's going to be intimidating. But what do? We have to choose. Are we going to duck? Are we going to swim for shore? Or are we going to ride? So I'm going to tell you about a great man. Somebody who had to deal with this situation in his life. He's somebody who had to deal with all those emotions, fear, excitement, opportunity. What was he going to do? This was a man that was in an industry that was seeing a monster change, monster wave. It was the photography business, and it was going from analog to digital. And what was he going to do? On top of everything else, he had these 2 incredibly annoying sons. One way more annoying than the other one. But anyway, 2 very annoying sons, both jumping up and down about this thing called digital. But he was in film. That's all he knew. Commercial photography, portrait photography, wedding photography, you name it, it was all on film. By the way, film, for those that aren't familiar with it, is what we used to put on our cell phones to take photographs. So his whole world was changing. And he had to make a choice. What is he going to do? And these changes, by the way, were big changes, and they were scary changes. They involved banks. And by the way, this was not proven technology. Like, it's very easy to think back now, especially those who didn't necessarily know the world of film, to think, well, it was obvious. Oh, no, it was not. Okay? First of all, film was king. Digital was considered extremely, unreliable, grainy, quality issues, the whole bit. So he had to make this choice with all these scary challenges, and it wasn't quite there yet and everything else, but he was listening to this other generation who was saying, there's something here. What do? Do we duck the wave? Do we swim for shore? And at that moment, it was chosen, let's ride. This family decided to go all in and give it everything they had. And if you haven't figured it out yet, this great man was my dad. And he was then and is now my superhero. Because not only did he invest in the technology, but he also invested in the next generation, his sons. Well, the company went on and did really great things, even though it was bumpy and challenging and exciting and all of those things that you can imagine. But as it went forward, it grew exponentially and went into video eventually, and then 360 media. And then along came this next generation who said, hey, there's this thing called XR Media. And then it was time for another generation to decide to believe, to invest, to say maybe they can see something special that's beyond what my generation can see. So around the time my father was dealing with this, a little bit before that, there was another company dealing with a similar challenge. They were actually approached with this thing called a digital camera. The name of the company that was dealing with this was called Kodak, and the gentleman was Steven Sasson. But here's the part that's crazy. Steven Sasson, who invented the digital camera, well, he worked for Kodak. Let that sink in for a second. So he works for Kodak. He approaches Kodak and says, hey, I've got this incredible new invention, and I want to share it with the leadership of this incredible organization. And at the time, they were top of the world. They were absolutely dominant. So what did they do? Well, the leadership said, let's go all in. Steven, you know what? We're spinning up a Tiger team. We're going to invest. We're going to give you some funding. You know what else we're going to do? We're going to key in with another technology firm. We're going to connect together. Maybe we can come up with a device that could capture this technology, put it in your pocket, expand to new horizons. Look at the opportunities in front of us. What kind of world would it be today for those who were part of the Kodak team, had leadership seen that vision at that time? However, instead, what the leadership said was, hey, Steve, Print's been around with us for over 100 years. Nobody's complaining about prints, and nobody really wants to look at photographs on a TV screen. And by the way, that's what we used to call it, a TV screen, just so you know. Okay? Now it's monitors, devices, all these different, but TV screens was what we had back then, and that was what they said. But then again, it's fair to pick on Kodak and think, well, you know what, it's just Kodak, that's their issue, that's what they dealt with. There's no other companies that have ever had to deal with an issue like that. How many of us remember Blockbuster Night? So Blockbuster Night was an amazing night. We all had so much fun with Blockbuster Night. Little company comes along to the leadership team at Blockbuster and says, hey, listen, we don't have the stores that you guys have, but we've got this streaming thing that we're doing, and it seems we're working really well. Would you be interested in partnering with us, and maybe we could work together and grow? And Blockbuster said, you know what? I'm not sure how we're going to do rewind fees with streaming. We're a retail company. Okay? They're correct. They're not in the streaming service. As a matter of fact, if you want to learn more about the Blockbuster story, you can actually watch a movie. It's called it's actually called The Last Blockbuster, and it is streaming on Netflix. So let's circle back for a minute. Let's talk about these technologies that we're seeing today. Virtual reality, augmented reality, all these incredible technologies. Why are they so amazing? What is so spectacular about them? Well, one of the things is in the world of business, they're making a difference, okay? If you can move the needle 5% for enterprise, that can be the difference of billions of dollars. 5%, okay? How's VR doing? VR learners, 400% faster than training in a classroom. Enterprise takes notice. It is not lost to me that I am doing this presentation right now at a university. It should not be lost in the universities that that statistic exists. Lean in, embrace, ride. Now, augmented reality is effectively the digital layer that we put in the world around us. Snapchat, face filters, all that good stuff, that's AR. You're going to be seeing a lot more of that in the future. But here's the one that everybody likes to talk about today. Augmented reality has sort of moved into now, we're talking a lot about artificial general intelligence. What the heck is that? Well, let's take a second look. Representation of generalized human cognitive abilities, ability to make judgments under uncertainty. Well, that clears that right up, doesn't it? I'll boil it down for us, okay? Ready? We are teaching computers to be able to learn and reason by themselves. What possibly could go wrong? I mean, we've made all these great movies about it. I mean, they always have such shiny lights in the sky. And the people that are left at the end are usually getting along fairly well. So here's the thing. These technologies are very powerful. So we need to make sure the right people are helping make them available to all of us and that we are using them for the power of good. So it's one of the reasons why we want to make sure that everybody here understands these technologies can make a difference in your life, even in a small way. It matters. Lean in. Now, how do we do this, though? How do we follow my father's example? Well, for one, just look for small things in your life. Don't think about it like it has to be a big deal. I mean, it can simply be just whether you're in school, you can look at some of the new tools that are becoming available. Maybe you have kids that like to play in headsets and stuff. Well, throw the thing on and try it out. Just expose yourself to the point where you at least start to understand the technology. These technologies have the ability to give us superpowers. Superpowers both on the battlefield or in the operating room. And it's up to us to decide where we're going to focus these technologies. And as we've all heard this amazing quote, with great power comes great responsibility. So let's talk about how we can use this for the greater good. So our team, and I personally had the experience of being able to work with this incredible organization to create a virtual voyage. Now, this is an organization that literally takes hospital ships and goes to the corners of the earth that are the hardest to get to and helps families so in need, transforming not only their lives, but also the entire communities that they're part of. But one of the challenges that this organization has is being able to share their mission because, getting everybody on the ship is tough. It's expensive, especially if the ship's in the middle of a part of the world that's so hard to reach. But what if we could actually bring people to the ship digitally? What if we could actually take this whole audience on a trip, a virtual trip to the operating room? An operating room you wouldn't even get access to if you're there physically because it's a sterile environment. Or the bridge, which is a secure environment. But maybe the actual captain of the ship is waiting for you on the bridge to talk to you and give you a tour. And he doesn't have to leave the ship. Or in this case, she doesn't have to leave the ship. Or you don't have to leave your kitchen. Okay? And everybody gets to learn more about their mission and their opportunity. Now, here's the thing. The technologies that we're talking about are so transformative. We are talking about possibly things like, believe it or not, curing cancer, Alzheimer's, diabetes. That's for real. We're actually having these conversations. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying at least it's even being talked about. But even more exciting, if it all goes well, we're all going to have AI DJs in our cars soon. I mean, curing cancer, AI DJs in your car. I mean, come on. It doesn't really get any better. So when you're thinking about these tremendous advancements in technology, the advent of electricity, putting feet on the moon, and the internet coming to life, there is one common thread with all of them. And it took us all coming together to accomplish them and then bring them to the world. So as we stand in the ocean together today, whether you're here in the auditorium or maybe you're at home watching video, we are all in this ocean together. Even if we don't always love each other or like each other and we get on each other's nerves, because let's be honest, we do. But one of the things about new technologies is they can be a level set. They can bring us closer together. So here we stand together in the ocean looking out, and here comes another set of waves. And we have a choice to make together. Do we duck? Do we swim for shore? Or do we find our surfboard, find our inner courage, look at each other and say, let's ride? Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Thank you so much, Edward. Let's give it up one more time. This concludes our event. Thank you so much to everybody who came out to support TEDx Western New England University today. A special thank you to our speakers, and as I call your name, please come up and join me on stage. Thank you, Robin and Edward. Congratulations. Congratulations, Ed. Great job. A special thanks to our guitar trio, led by John Mason, accompanied by Will Murphy and Jake Liuzzo. Please come on down to the stage. Thank you so much. To our friends at Improv on the Rocks, thank you for a hysterical performance. If you are still here, please come on up. Yes, thank you so much. Please help me thank the hardworking volunteers, the generous contributions from our sponsors, and all other student-led organizations that help make today a success. A very special thank you to Susanna Zemba for helping us to coordinate behind the scenes. You have been an integral part of this TEDx event. Please come on up to the stage wherever you are. Finally, I extend a humongous congratulations to the TEDx Western New England University team for putting together a tremendously successful day today. When I call your name, once again, please come and join us on the stage. Maria Khan, head organizer and head licensee. Kyle Zemba, co-head organizer and head marketing lead. Evan Grocki, head curator of events. Morgan Schmidt, head of logistics, registration, and community engagement. And last but certainly not least, Kimberly Pesaturo, our faculty advisor, TEDxWNEU speaker alum, mentor, and friend. Let's give it up one more time for the TEDx Western New England University team. Thank you. Seriously, everybody, thank you so much for putting together such a wonderful day. TEDx has become such an integral part of my life, and I think that I could say the same about everybody else here with us today. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. For everybody, please join us in a post-networking hour where you have the chance to experience some of the technologies that we were talking about all day today. Thanks to WNE's VR and AR Club, as well as a very generous contribution from Link to VR, you might have the opportunity to win your very own VR headset. So please come on down. The VR AR Club will set up their equipment. Definitely get in on that raffle and enjoy the rest of your day. Once again, thank you so much. This was a fantastic event. Congratulations, everybody.
And thank you to Carly.
Let the VR AR Club come on down, help set up for everybody. Please come and enjoy. If there's any food left, I'm not actually sure. But thank you all so much for having a great day.